Today is 29th day and I will talk on how to say no without guilt. My dear friends, time and again this type episode on no will keep coming and I strongly recommend go through these episodes time and again. I've designed these episodes for people pleasers, high performers, burnout survivors, empaths and leaders. Try to understand the truth that we all try to avoid. How often do you say yes to things that slowly eat away at your peace? You smile, nod, and agree, while a quiet voice inside whispers, "This is not right." That voice is your truth, and every time you silence it, you trade your authenticity for approval. Now understand, saying no is not a rejection. What it is? It's self-respect. It's not selfishness. It's preservation of self. I have mentored officers in the armed forces, spoken to many senior leaders, and coached overwhelmed mothers across all levels, cultures, and continents. I witnessed one common regret, all of them. I wish I had the courage to say no. This no is such a powerful thing. But who am I? I am Sekhar Kumar Dey, a best-selling author, resilient strategist, and work-life balance coach. Also a retired Indian Air Force officer and a resilient mentor with more than 40 years of lived leadership. My experience spans defense strategy, emotional intelligence coaching, and cross-cultural mentorship. I have worked with the cadets trained in obedience, yet struggling with boundaries. Senior executives navigating burnout masked as their ambition. It is a mask, it is a camouflage. Students and homemakers silently overburdened by invisible expectation and pushing them to the boundaries. And through it all, I have learned mastering the art of no is the first step to owning your life. You often wonder what should be the first step to start with. Here is the first step. Mark my point. Listen to the story of a young officer who missed his life. Years ago, I remember I mentored a junior officer who is diligent, intelligent, but dangerously agreeable. He volunteered for every mission, took others' shifts, never refused a command. On paper, he is a star performer. But what is in reality? Exhausted and emotionally crumbling. He missed his own brother's wedding, broke off his own engagement, and finally collapsed in the hospital with stress-induced hypertension. When I visited, what he whispered, "Sir, I thought saying no was dishonor, but I ended up dishonoring myself." My dear friends, he taught me something. Even service has limits, especially if it costs your own soul. Here I share the story of a senior executive from Silicon Valley of USA out of burnout. Meet Daniel, a product manager and a reputed firm in California. He is brilliant, driven, the go-to person for everything. She said yes to every new feature, every late night demo, and every mentor-mentee lunch. Her reward? Chronic migraines, panic attacks, a resignation letter she drops at night 3 o'clock. She confided in me through a digital coaching platform. Every time I said yes to my team, I said no to my children. I used to think I was essential. Now I realize I was replaceable, but my children are not. So is the case for each of you. Daniel revealed her boundaries. Today, she mentors other women in tech on saying no without guilt and with grace. Here is another story of a nurse from Australia who found her voice finally. Sarah, a nurse in Melbourne, worked 60-hour weeks during the pandemic. She's compassionate, tireless but quietly breaking down. She stayed back to cover shifts, missed holidays with her aging parents, and absorbed everyone's pain, never refusing for help. One day, her supervisor asked, "Can you cover tonight again?" Her hands trembled, her chest tightened, and for the first time in 5 years, she said, "No, not this time." Tears followed, not from sadness, but from freedom. Now she teaches boundary setting workshops for caregivers across Australia. Her mantra, saying no, is how I kept my compassion from turning into collapse. My dear friend, here is a lesson for you to learn. Boundaries are bridges, not walls. Here is the paradox. People will respect your no more than your reluctant yes. Because clarity creates respect, while over accommodation creates quiet resentment. Therefore, replace guilt with the truth using three following scripts. Listen carefully. Your script could be, "I would love to help, but I'm committed elsewhere right now." It is quite possible. Second, "That is not something I can take on at the moment." Is it very difficult situation? No. Often you come across, or "I value these, but I have to prioritize my well-being." Or, yet the best, "Let me pause and check before I commit. I am learning to honor my energy." According to a 2022 Harvard Business Review study, professionals who mastered assertive communication experienced a 38% increase in team respect and a 41% improvement in work-life balance. Now write down the steps for you to take action. Number one, what's one recurring situation where I say yes when I want to say no? What boundary I have failed to set due to fear? How can I reframe no as an act of self-respect? Try saying a small, guilt-free no this week, my dear friends. Watch what happens to your clarity and your courage. Here is I give you call to action. DM me your biggest no and win this week. Share this with someone struggling with burnout, especially in service roles or leadership. And stay tuned for the 30th day topic, the real definition of success. Because after 29 days of inner work that we have covered in 29 episodes, it's time to redefine what winning means to you. Remember, thank you.